Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the final word. Everton 2, Bournemouth 1. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, because I know loads of you haven't already, we're going for that 20,000. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click the bell for notifications. And if you want more videos, you can join us on Patreon. Like Andrew, who's here today as a guest, who has joined us on Patreon and has got a lovely little t-shirt out of it as well. Although he's been waiting about 6 months for it. Yeah, Andrew's joining on the show today. Nice to be talking about a Premier League win, isn't it? It's lovely to be talking about a Premier League win.
Been too long, mate.
It has, it has.
August the 12th was the last, well, it wasn't, it was the 14th when we were talking about it, but yeah, it has. It felt like a long time, but 2 wins in 3 days.
I know.
Happy times at Everton.
Can't believe it. It's like the good old days, isn't it?
It's all back.
The good old days of last season.
Of last season.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it does make such a difference though, winning a game of football, doesn't it? Just your whole mood is just like brightened by, there isn't that cloud.
Yeah, you just go out and you're like, yes. Just going out, everyone's got a smile on you.
Just there. You go out and you go, when you lose, like, it's not as bad as it used to be for me, but then it's still like, it's there. Don't talk about it. Like, yeah. Don't. If anyone even mentions the fact that you've won a game of football or you've lost a game of football, sorry, you just know you're going to have to talk about it, and that's the last thing you want to do. Even though I make videos where I talk about football quite a lot, but then that's okay. But it's when you know that there's people talking to you who just want to get that rise out of you, and
yeah,
bastards. But we didn't have that this weekend. We could be happy. We could be happy, Baz.
Very happy, mate. It was, yeah. It was. It's such a lovely feeling to come out and just go, no one can. Forget everything else. Forget everything else. We've won, and it's good. And you haven't got. You know, when you're waiting to see that one person you don't want to see when you've lost. You know what I mean? You're just like, it's all. We've all got that one person we don't want to see, or the one text you don't want to get. So it was Umar. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, we'll talk more about Umar. Let's talk about the team. Obviously, I'd seen rumours earlier in the day about the team, Keane being in, and you know what? When I see rumours on Twitter now, I generally just believe them, because I think, why would you make that up? Why would you make it up?
Well,
that
rumours, certain rumours.
I just believe all rumours on Twitter. Yeah, it's a wonderful world to live in. If you believe all rumours on Twitter, right, your life just suddenly becomes mad. It's boss.
I'm off Twitter.
Wow. He's riding a unicorn. What are you on about?
That's how we got
it. It was
injured.
a dragon, you dickhead. Again, it's another area of the world I live. No, but and I was thinking, well, then suddenly it dawned on me that we could be starting with Holgate and all of our favourite player Ashley Williams at centre back, and that's the way it was. We started with them 2 at centre back, obviously Martin at right back, and yeah, interesting.
Yeah, well, I, obviously being off Twitter at the moment, hadn't seen those rumours, so I was driving to the match. Okay. Seeing Holgate. And I'd heard that Keane was doubtful, but Jagielka was, I thought, didn't realise he was injured. So seeing Holgate starting at centre back, and you think, all right, that's where we need to look at him now, because quite clearly, you know, Ronald Koeman's give him a go at right back, and then he took him away from that position, so he doesn't fancy him there kind of long run. So what's the natural progression for Mason Holgate is to be centre back. So yeah, I was quite happy to see him there and to see what he could bring. Although I was thinking Jermaine Defoe.
I don't think Jermaine Defoe could play centre back for us.
No. Yeah, well, to be fair, he might have to.
Well, Bezit's kind of the same height.
Bezit, yeah.
No, but I think, I suppose, in a way, him having the baptism of fire, having to play there, sometimes that can be, it's not the worst thing in the world if a player is thrown in, which we, obviously we can talk about more with other players, and certainly there's one that stands out, but it's not always the worst thing in the world if a player has to play a game of football and you have to see how he reacts to it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's one of the perfect things that can happen. It's like sink or swim, isn't it? But the only problem is that the form that Williams is in, you'd kind of hope that would be with someone who's a bit more stable, like Jagielka, where the experience could work, who's in a bit more form. But you know, he was injured, so couldn't happen, obviously. So, but yeah, I thought he did really well. I mean, like, he made a couple of mistakes, but he's young. It's the first time he's properly played there, and since a Europa League Like,
a while.
I think it was under Martinez. Did he play?
I can't remember the last time he played in a 2 as a centre back.
I don't think he has played in a 2 for us.
Has he not?
First team. I think he's been in a 3 quite a few times.
Was there not a Europa League match? Where
not off the top of my head, I think he's played in a 3 quite a few times at centre back, but I don't know whether he's played. I might be wrong, but I don't know whether he's played in a 2. But like you say, he done very well. He made
Europa League, would it? Because hadn't played before last season, has he, in the first team? Holgate.
He hadn't played in a 2. I'm saying it now. He's played in a 3. But like you say, I mean, I'm
losing brain cells by the second. So I honestly,
I think Ashley Williams, I thought, done okay Saturday as well. I mean, his form, you're right, his form has been, should we say, patchy to be. He
hasn't had a good start of the season, but I suppose from the other way round, Bournemouth's not a bad game to go into. If you're going to go up against someone, they're not the worst team to go up against. As much as Jermaine Defoe has been a good striker, he's getting older. You know, he's older than Ashley Williams, isn't he? And if I was
36.
If I was Holgate, I'd actually probably want Ashley Williams next to me. They seem like a good mate. Seem like even though he probably could be his dad, they seem like they get on very well, and they have, you always see them on like social media, like pictures of them together. So actually having that person next to you, because I know we slag Ashley Williams off for this and that, but I bet you other players can love him. Because I bet you, he's really constant, gives you what you get what you expect from him every week.
Ashley Williams is a good defender.
No, he is.
And when you can sit on the edge of your box, he's great because he's body in the way and he'll get head through it. The problem is when he has to play, when he's like, you're asking him to play with the ball or you're asking him to move up the pitch, he just hasn't got the legs to get in.
But if you're a young player,
if you're a young lad with him, you can get him out. And the advice he was given, and they were talking, I thought he'd done all right. I thought he'd done okay. What did you think of Martinez starting at right back?
Let's move on.
No, were you surprised?
No, I wasn't surprised. Nothing surprised me.
Yeah.
I'm not having a go with the manager, but nothing surprises me.
I was a bit disappointed just because I thought Kenny had done enough from the Sunderland game to be where they were going.
But mate, he hadn't done enough. He hadn't set 3 goals up, or
I suppose the
a rabbit from a hat, or.
But I suppose the other side to that is because Holgate was at centre back.
But we don't watch him train every day. How would we know? How would we know, Baz? We don't watch him every day in training. How would we know?
There is that. Let's move on.
No, yeah. I mean, on the face of it, the team. You see the team on paper and you go, but I think that's half the problem at the moment. The way the team is set up on paper and the players we have, it looks better on paper than it does on grass.
Okay, I'm going to say it now. The biggest thing on Saturday was Tom Davies. That was the biggest. That was the thing. Kenny would have been lovely to see him there, but how the hell did Tom Davies not start that game? How he's at this moment, and for the second half of last season, he was our best midfield player. So how is he not getting in that starting lineup?
I don't know. That's Andrew.
Arrogance. That's the only thing I can think
of. So Tom Davies not arrogant, Tom. Now, what do you think? What do you think, Andy?
I think it's arrogance. I think the manager. I think he's you've said it before plenty of times. He's an easy drop, isn't he?
I suppose so.
But with the way that he played against Man United, and showed that he's not an easy drop, and the way he played last season shows that he's not an easy drop. Just think that you've got to stop bringing him in. He has to play all the time. He's young enough to play all the time, and he's hungry enough to play all the time. And he's also not scared. Like John Joe Kenny came on, he wasn't scared. What about going up and down the line, getting the ball, playing it out, looking forward?
I suppose the manager, to be fair to him, he has to look at all his players, doesn't he? And he has to look at how they will all develop over the season. And I think the likes of Kenny, the likes of Tom Davies, they need to be managed in a certain way. And we've seen that already. Tom Davies didn't have a well, some people say he didn't have a particularly brilliant start to the season, even though he didn't start the season. But when he played against City, he wasn't great. Game against Chelsea wasn't that good. But then you look at other players like Klassen, and you think the manager's got a responsibility to all those players, but to all the games as well. And I suppose that's the way he looks at it. Like, Sandro didn't come off the bench in this game. That to me that's like the flip side, isn't it? Like, Sandro could have started and everyone goes, well, what do you start? But he didn't even get on the pitch. And I think that's a big thing, because he didn't. But the reason he didn't get on the pitch because he brought Nias on first because he said he was more like a number 9. But he's looking also at Thursday as well, knowing that Nias is not going to be involved and Sandro will be involved. So I think at the moment, I think he is just going.
And I totally get that, and that's spot on.
Yeah.
And it was, and like I said off camera before, the subs, I thought, and we'll talk about them a bit, he done well with that, and that kind of, like you just said about Sandro, it's good management because he's looked at it and gone, nah, he's not right for this. That's great, but just the Tom Davies thing for me, the performance on Wednesday against Sunderland, he ran the show. I don't care who he was against, he ran the show. He had a good game at United, like you said, Andrew. And that to me, he's a certain type of midfield play that we don't have. For the start, he passes the ball forward.
He does, yeah.
So that's straight away.
Mad.
And energy. And he kind of gets us playing our game. And so, to me at the minute, he can't be dropped. I don't think he can be dropped. I look at it and I go, yeah, Garner, drop him. Schneiderlin, maybe drop him. Klassen can be dropped. Even Sigurdsson can quite easily be dropped. People are talking about Rooney getting dropped. But Tom Davies is the one, for me, just at this moment in time, that I don't think we can drop, because it changes us as a football team. We're too pedestrian, but too slow, and we kind of seen that in the first half.
No, I agree. It's just, I just think that the manager, I think the fact that he got took off at United, but then he played the Sunderland game, and I think the Sunderland game was almost like, well, there you go. There's not there's your chance to show me, but there's 90 minutes for you, and we have got a lot of players, and you look where Davis has come in within a year. You know, he was nowhere near the first team this time last year, and now we're saying he should be undroppable. And I think
just for now.
No, I know. No, I agree. I'm just sort of playing devil's advocate. I just think the manager will be looking at it and thinking. He did sort of say he wanted to have the senior players play him out of this little sticky patch we were in. Now I think that's more oddly for the confidence for those players. Like, I think he looks at Tom Davies and goes, I don't need to give him any more confidence, but I need to give some of these players confidence. Now, that's hard for us to understand, because we're like, I give a fuck, I won't get this 3 points.
Well, after the Man United match, came out and did like a 5-minute press conference, didn't he? And about 3 minutes of it was him talking about player confidence, and that you need to get the confidence back, and they're just low on confidence and that. So it's probably right what you're saying.
And I think once you've been established as a Premier League player and all that, I suppose that all that early, I think of the right word, but you know, when a player comes in, we as fans, we give certain players an amount of time where they might make mistakes and we go, oh well, that's down to this and that's down to that, but then that soon lifts, and suddenly they become a professional footballer, and they're not a young player anymore, they're a professional footballer, and all those things go away. You're not potential, you are a player. And I think Tom Davies is still in that period where everyone forgives him pretty much for anything he does wrong, and he's got natural confidence where he hasn't become like a jaded footballer yet. Do you know what I mean? Like, whereas, imagine trying to pick up like a 20, imagine trying to pick up Kevin Morales. That must be like the hardest thing in the world, mustn't it? Because he's like, well, I've been it, seen it, done it, and like, I don't get that. I haven't got that new player bounce. I've got to do this all myself. Whereas, and I suppose maybe that's what the manager's trying to find at the moment, trying to find those senior. But then, oddly enough,
trying to find Kevin Morales.
Yeah, probably.
That could be it. For 3 years.
Apparently, it's a new Netflix documentary. Yeah, 10-parter. Same people who did how to get away with murder, whatever it was called. He's doing that. Finding Kevin Morales. It's going to be brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I think he's wrapped up by aliens, and he put something else in his place.
Probed.
I think he's got a
Paul McCartney syndrome.
There'll be a metal incision somewhere under his hairline, and he'll take that out and he'll be back to normal, be able to run again, beat him on the sheep.
Do you think if you pulled on his face, he'd be like in V?
V. Oh my god.
Half our audience wouldn't get that reference, mate, which is really sad. Andrew didn't even get it, mate. It was an 80s programme.
Well, it was back on a couple of years ago.
Did he bring something back?
Yeah, they were lizards. Steve Price was in it, it was good.
he was like the dead camp one.
He was the camp.
I seen him walking down Victoria Street last week. 3 o'clock in the morning, this suit. Worth more.
PP?
Yeah. Just amazing. That's what I'm saying. Let's move on. But I was going to say, it's odd that he's trying to give confidence to players that are actually new signings, or trying to fit them in. I don't know, Klassen and... Well, let's talk about those 3 number 10s. This game how narrow were we? We were like ridiculously narrow. It was at times it was just incredible how you can have essentially 17, 18 players all down the middle of the park.
Heat map from the first half.
Oh,
to put on the screen.
The middle of the pitch would have just been on fire.
Just be like a fire there, and the rest of it
would have just been a big line of just fire. It was just ridiculous, and that's at the moment. Is this a problem? Is again you mentioned the word arrogance before? Is this arrogance from the manager trying to fit Rooney, Klassen, and Sigurdsson into the same team? Because I don't think he's doing any of those three players justice by playing them all at the same time. I think it takes something away from all of their games, and while you've got Klassen and while you've got Sigurdsson trying to find form in a new club, and Rooney trying to find obviously something else because of what's gone on in the last few weeks, I just think it doesn't do any help. And it would be better if you just said to the players, well, you're going to play today, you're playing on Thursday, you might have a slightly altered position today, but they're all playing within 10 feet of each other. I just don't think it does any of them any justice.
My issue is I wonder if they're all number 10s. I mean, Sigurdsson's obviously like a number 10 playmaker. I think Rooney's still at his best when he's a striker. And Klassen for Ajax played centre mid.
Yeah.
He only played he played the tackle mid on the number 10 in the whole, and really early on in his career. Then he got dropped back, and that was where he became a better player. So I just wonder if, like, is it that we're playing 3 number 10s, or is it that we're playing players that aren't number 10s
in number 10 positions? You've cracked the code. And just cracked the code.
Code's cracked.
There you go.
I've said about Sigurdsson, I don't. People tell me, well, you told me he was a number 10. I don't think he is a number 10.
I don't think I said he was a number 10.
He's not craft. You said he wants to play in the.
I think he wants to play number 10. I think there's a difference.
Well,
and that's basically what
he's the left side of midfield player.
Okay.
End of story to me. He's not. He's better when he's got a defined role, as we saw in the last 25 minutes when he went out to. And had to hold a position. He looked like a different player all of a sudden. He was involved in edge of the box, he was linking up, he was winning tackles. It's all about players. Players essentially are stupid. So you need to say to them, stand there and do that.
I would have said
best managers,
they're mouldable.
No, they're stupid. Got loads of money and loads of fit birds, but they're stupid. And I think that's why the clever ones stand out. That's why you'll get players like Rooney who are worlds apart from anyone else in terms of vision, and you'll see it. I'm just using Rooney because he's in our team, but there's players, if you go right now in the Premier League, there's certain players you look and go, oh my God, look at the brain and where you can pass the ball, because most of them are just what they are. And I think if, say, David Unsworth took over for like Thursday night or whatever, for argument's sake,
is that like, I can imagine Koeman doing that, lad. I'm taking Thursday off. I'm going to Portugal for a game of golf. Could you just step up and do my job for me?
But I think Unsworth will come in and it'd just be, you do that role, go and do that, you do that. When he was in charge for that Norwich game after management, everyone just come in. Koeman now on the way to golf course. He just come in and everyone just had the position to play, just play that position, don't do anything complicated. And I think footballers quite like that when it's, you're there, do that job, you're there, do that job, you're there, do. And I think the problem for Everton is it's too fluid, almost. It's too, let's be organic, you three go in there and do lovely little back heels and it'll all be brilliant.
Be like Barca.
But it isn't.
Be like Iniesta and Xavi
and all,
and
but
Busquets.
It isn't, is it? It's not, because it's breaking down. Wayne Rooney will do his best work in and around the penalty area. He won't do his best work on the edge of our box. Gylfi Sigurdsson will do his best work coming off the flank and cutting in, not standing in the middle giving wall passes to Schneiderlin. Davy Klaasen's looking for a position to play in because he's trying to, like you just said, he started off early as the 10 for Ajax, but he actually played as one of the 2 midfield players. Now I don't know whether he could play as 1 or 2 for us, but he might be able to if someone's sitting for him. We don't know. We're putting them all into this narrow space and go and do it. Teams are just going, we've got loads of space, I need a flank. Tottenham cut us to shreds the other week because of our shape.
Yeah, that pass they did where they just basically diagonalled it through the middle. Was it Sanchez? Just got
and all the while, every time right to left to Ben
It
Davies.
was along the floor, straight. They did it one to Ericsson, then Ericsson just turned around and passed out. Was a Trippier on the wing, and either they scored for it or it was the one where Sissoko
should have scored.
Yeah. And it's just too easy.
2-3 passes they're in our box because we're the shape.
Yeah, but what you were saying there about like footballers needing to be constantly told stuff. Look at the best managers in the world. You've got like Mourinho, you got Pep Guardiola, Pochettino, stuff like that. All the best managers in the world. Zidane, they stand on the edge of the touchline and they're just like, get in there, you go there, you come here, you move like that.
Stalk the touchline.
Yeah, and you just like, they're constantly telling the players what to do or what they see, or if they're out of position, getting them back into it and stuff. That Koeman doesn't, just sits there. The only time I've ever seen him shouting something is against Man United when he was screaming at them to get out.
I just think you're right there, because I think what happens is when we're so narrow, I seen it at loads on Saturday. We play a system where we didn't have in the first half any wide players in midfield, and that inadvertently means that when the opposition get the ball wide, our players have to go from in to out, and suddenly if a pass is played very quickly, essentially, then the midfield's just pulled apart because doesn't feel like there's any structure in there. Players are getting moved out. And if you just, like you were saying, if you just had a lot more, if you just had a shape where players actually start on the left, we always go back to Pienaar, always, because him and Baines with us, it was just magic, wasn't it? But Pienaar used to play out from in, and it worked all the time. But we have midfielders that play in to out, and it doesn't work because they're forever having to go outside all the time, chase the ball outside, and good teams will use that effectively, I think, against us. They're going to keep moving the ball so that our players are just being dragged. I know it's not out of position, but it is out of position, isn't it? So our players are always going outside, but I think that plays into the 2 DMs. Like, that, do we need 2 DMs? Because effectively what we've been playing with recently is 2 players sitting in front of the back 4 that by the time the ball gets to them, it's almost too late. And this was a syndrome we used to find under Martinez with McCarthy and Barry. It was like by the time the ball got to that area where they were in, the damage had been done. The opposition had flooded that many players forward. And I think it was a little bit like that on Saturday, or it has been in some games, that were just, they're useless because they're just too deep, both of them. They're not, Garner's not doing his job of being all over the pitch. He's just been sitting in the same area of Snarden. And again, it's like the 3, I think. You've got 2 players essentially trying to do the same job, getting in each other's way, meaning that neither of them can do their job effectively. So you've got 5 players in the middle of the park that none of them, I feel, are doing their job effectively well to the best of their ability, because there's 5 players in the space of 20 yards in a narrow area, and you're thinking all you need to do, you could take one of those, one out of the 5 out, leave 4 of them in, bring someone else in, and you can have a completely different look in midfield. Like Tom Davies, like we did second half. I think we look much better in a diamond, much better. Maybe either Snidland or Garner at the base of it, maybe Rooney or whoever at the tip of it. Snidland on the Sigurdsson on the left of it, maybe Davis on the right of it, or even in the central position. And suddenly you've got a lot more effective. You've got players that can hold their position slightly wide so that your fullbacks are more confident. You've got Kenny or even Martina playing right back. They know they can play a little 1-2, whatever that player is, and suddenly your shape's a lot more effective. I just think at the moment, playing the shape we have, it doesn't give us any room to go anywhere, because there's no room. Effectively, there's no room in there.
What was happening again? What always happened to Lukaku with Calvert-Lewin? We just isolated it. We had 3 defenders mark him as a kid. You know, and you're saying to Rooney and to Sigurdsson, try and get up and join in, and Klaas and try and join in, but by the time it's gone to him, they've muscled them out of it, or you commit and they just cut us open. And the amount of times, particularly in the first half, Snidland and Garner's passed it back for Snidland done that thing where he turned in like a circle, there was no one near him, like Bezic did.
The Bezic did.
Yeah, and you're going back and you're going, where are you going? No one's even tracking you. Turn round and look up. And I don't know, he didn't do this last season, and I think it was because he had Ross Barkley coming to get the ball, going, give me the ball. So he just won it and went, you have it, rolled it off to Ross, and Ross carried it forward. and we were a better team for it. Now, Garner's not doing that. Garner isn't doing his job that we love them for at the moment. And he's not doing the other thing. A couple of times he did try to fire that forward pass and get us going, but it was few and far between. Your midfielder shouldn't have 2 or 3 touches and a half. He should be on the ball.
To be fair, most of the times he did try and fire those passes, he misplaced it and he just ended up coming back.
And we were in trouble. And that's the thing. And the other thing with Schneiderlin on Saturdays, well, he got booked for his first tackle, which, I mean, the referee was a gobshite, end of story. It was terrible from start to finish. But he booked Schneiderlin, so that was him out the game, really. So we're half time. Koeman should have just gone, come and sit with me. Garner, go and sit in the old lad. And threw Tom Davies in there, and we could have played a different way. But it's just too pedestrian. And they started off the first 2 or 3 minutes, they had a lot of the ball, didn't they? They had good possession. But then we took over. We had the header by Calvert-Lewin off one of our best moves. We'd had another couple of things where Sigurdsson had flashed one over. Should have had 1, maybe 2 penalties. Definitely. But then, when we didn't get those decisions, everything just went back to tight. It was pass it back, slow the game down. Much to the fact that they were just looking, kind of going, are these going to come and have a go? Because they were very good and low on confidence. We had all the ball, but it's no good having all the ball if you don't do anything with it.
That's it, we just don't do anything with it. I think going back to what Ped said about the shape, it just makes no sense. Say if you take half time, if he'd have took Schneiderlin off because he was booked, you drop Klassen back, let him play in midfield, and then you give yourself an actual shape then, don't you? Know what I mean? But we're too busy trying to play this stupid football that it's supposed to be a 4-3-3 and it's never a 4-3-3.
No, it's not.
4-5.
I just wonder. I wonder whether the manager. It's not about can he handle big personalities, but I don't think there's any big personality in there to handle. To be honest, I just wonder if he can. I don't know. Can he see past his own nose, I suppose, is the way. Look, he's brought these players in and they're all his own players. Now is he scared to not have them playing? Like, is he, do you know what I mean? Like we talk about Tom Davies and we talk about John Joe Kenny and we talk about these kind of players and you think they're not his players, and it's like, why are you trying to shoe in all, why haven't you got the bollocks, again I'm just saying, has he or hasn't he, but why haven't you got the bollocks to just go, you're not playing, and I am playing them because they've been playing well recently. I suppose people will turn around and say, well, he has, because he has dropped Klassen and he has dropped Sanjo, but he's had no alternative to do that. I just think that sometimes, and maybe we'll see this more in the coming weeks, is that there are games where you just got to go, no, he deserves to play, this system isn't working, rip it up. I mean, if he breaks up Schneiderlin and Garner, I think that would be a massive step in the right direction. Not every game. There's games where Garner and Snyder have to play, but there's games when they don't have to play, and you just and it's funny because we put them in our starting 11, and I said that myself, that even though we're allowed to pick our own team, we're in the mindset that they have to play, and maybe it's up to him to get out that mindset.
But we also did say in pre-season that by October Garner wouldn't be in the team if Schneiderlin's playing well. It'd be Garner or Schneiderlin, because Tom Davies takes us forward. Your midfield players have to be able to take you up. There's no point going, we've almost got 6 defenders and the other 4 will sort the game out for you, because most of the Premier League teams have 8. If it's Man City, they have 8 attackers.
Yeah.
So you're coming, or 7 if they have an old midfielder like Barcelona used to have. That's Man City, and they're the team that's tearing it up. Marino's got more of a spine, but he still has 6 attackers.
Well, look at Marino's just bought Matic to just basically be the midfield for him. The defence.
And that's what I'm saying. You don't need, like you just said, there'll be times when you want Garner and Schneiderlin and you think, we want to smother this. And if they're both at 8 out of 10s and they're playing well, fine. But I don't think either of them have started the season particularly well. And I don't think it does either of them any harm to go, you come and sit with me today and you'll watch, and you might have to go on with half an hour to replace the other one. Garner has never recovered the form that he had for 4-5 months last season before Schneiderlin got here. That was when we seen him at his very, very best, when he was pressing and winning the ball. And then he's had some decent games at Schneiderlin, because Schneiderlin was so good when he come in till the end of the season. But the pair of them, for whatever reason, haven't hit the ground running so far this season. And like you said before, we're waiting for all of these players to hit form. it's not like 7 or 8 of them are and 3 just aren't doing it yet. There's very few that you say they're operating at probably their best level. Can you say that about anyone so far this season? Pickford's been great.
Pickford's been good.
You know, but other than that, I mean, we've seen Rooney have great flashes. He's dropped off the last couple of games. Don't think Sneijderlin has had a decent game. Garner the same. Klaassen hasn't done anything. Calvert-Lewin's getting better, to be fair, but I don't know.
And the irony is, they're making it very easy for him to say, you're not playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you turn around and drop Sneijderlin or Garner, I mean, no one would bat an eyelid. If you drop Sneijderlin, and everyone go, he needs that. He needs a couple of games out. Yeah. No one would bat an eyelid. You just think, at times, Koeman just can't get out of his own way. And I just think if he did, people would just go, well, that was a good decision. That was a good decision to do that. That was a good decision. He's brilliant at rotating centre-backs and changing right-backs every 5 minutes. But you just think, now and again, have a bit of flexibility within your starting lineups. Not necessarily, listen, he's changed subs loads of times this season to do positive things. But there's got to be a point where you go, well, maybe if you'd started the game with, you know, I
think what he's trying to do is we've started unlike well, I don't know, maybe he did expect us to start like that, I don't know. And probably he's trying to play the players who he thinks will give him that 7 out of 10, as many as them. We're looking at it and going, we're picking holes in it, because that's basically what we're here to do. Because we're not playing great, are we? So we're just giving our opinion, and it's easy for us because we're not the ones having to do it. But we're just looking at it and going, he's not really playing very well, though, and how's he playing, and why can't he see this? But I just think with the midfield, the makeup isn't right, and we're into the middle of September now, and we're still, you know. What
worries me more about, it's not the players who are playing, it's the system. Because if you get the system right, then you can play those players in the system. But it's the system that's wrong. So for me, it doesn't really matter who's playing in there, whether there's 3 number 10s and 2 hold midfield. It is the fact that we're like that. We don't have any width. And let's be honest, on Saturday, if we'd had any kind of width in that first half, because we started the game with Baines down the left providing the cross for Calvert-Lewin and Martina putting, so we did have width, and then it stopped. If we had people who generally wanted to get forward at every opportunity, who can get forward at every opportunity, let's say it like that, like other teams do, then I think we would have been comfortable, very comfortable on Saturday. But it's the fact that that system just means everyone, and the whole game, because the opposition just go, we'll just shut this down, we'll just bring it into the centre, and then I think second half they seen that and just went, well, we'll have a go here, we'll start from wide position like they scored the goal. It was poor from Holgate to jump in when he did, when all he needed to do was stay on his feet there and keep pushing him wide, and the lad would have had to do something very, very special to beat Pickford, but he didn't. He dived in, and that gave that lad 2 extra seconds to just go, well, I can just hit this whenever I want. Holgate's got to learn that. He's doing well up to then, but jumping in, that gave them that.
Still fortunate it went through Williams' legs.
It was fortunate, but I think just for me, the defence just they didn't shift, didn't move. The 2 defensive midfielders. We've got 2 defensive midfielders that aren't defending.
One of them should have been screening. One of them should have been.
And that's where I think the system doesn't work, because I just think when last season, like you just said, when it was Garner's job to just sit in front of that back 4 and mop everything up, you watched him in games and you were just like, this kid is unbelievable. You were using words like that. You go, this fella is.
I've never seen anything.
This fella's up there with Kante. He's everywhere on the pitch. And now you look on him and go, James McCarthy syndrome. But it's probably James McFadden did as well. James McCarthy syndrome used to do this job brilliantly, and then the next one you're just like, what does he do now? Now I don't feel that about Garner, but certainly from a year ago where I was like, fucking hell, this fella's unbelievable.
Every week when I was doing the ratings, he was 8, 9 every week.
Now I look at him, I'm just like,
I'm giving the man the match to someone else because it's getting boring.
But now I look at him and go, what's your job? What do you actually do? And you're thinking, but if he just sat in front of that back 4, he'd have been in there making more. He'd been there with Holgate, next to Holgate, making sure that Holgate knew where to. They would have doubled up on him, but you're right, he was nowhere near him. So, and I wouldn't necessarily think that's Sneijderlin's job. That is his job, but that's been taken away from him. And I just think if he was given that job back, going back to what you were saying about the intelligence of footballers, give them a job, tell them not to do, just to do that and nothing else, and they'll do it for you. How many times you see a poor player told to man mark someone, and they man marked them out the game because they're just like, fucking hell, guys, oh rubbish. But then you give
Jack
them.
Rodwell got bought by fucking Man City for marking David Silva in a game. We ended up getting beat 3-1, but he just marked them brilliantly for most of the game.
Yeah,
some players, I'm not saying
Yeah.
not saying G Park Chung was a terrible player, but how many times did Alex Ferguson say to him in big games, go on, do that job for me, and just stick to him and do it, and he did it, and he was brilliant at it. And sometimes I think you just gotta simplify football for footballers, you know. And I think that's where we're going wrong. And I think you're right. Holgate is stupid for jumping in, but he's young. But he's the only one who's running with him, and really, you're right, should be doubled up. And I mean he took it well.
He took it well. It was a good goal. Josh King, he did.
And really, you know, if it's not for a big save by Pickford, that should have put the game. But again,
that was us, our own making. Exactly. It was a pass to Rooney. Rooney plays a blind pass, touches it off. Garner commits, and they're in. And they're in again through the middle. And you know, it's a brilliant save by Pickford because he stayed up long. Yeah. You know, but Defoe's very
just before
good.
we talk about the subs, I did think Martin Atkinson helped in Everton getting back into this game.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Because he
just being shy.
Because he got the decision for when their player was down injured, when it wasn't a head injury, was absolutely
Josh King holding his back.
It was absolutely criminal when you think Rooney got elbowed in the face, was down, holding his head with blood cover, and the ref did not stop the match. No. And he stopped.
Snidland knocked it out.
He knocked Sigurdsson knocked it out. And Rooney was on the floor holding his head, and the ref did not stop the game. Whereas this lad's holding his back, and that got Goodison just fucking seething because he was terrible. The Snidland one was halfy, but you think for the first one. The Davis one, oh my god, Davis just slid. And the lad fell over him. 4 seconds he'd been on the pitch.
Nias was bucking. Nias went from underneath him and he bucked Nias. There, lad. That Francis, I'm not being funny, mate, that was a red card. So it was a penalty and a red card, and it wasn't even questionable. People have gone, oh no, the way it was a fucking jump like that. Just because he straightened his arm out. Cut his head.
Do you know what? You've got to elbow somebody to cut their eye open like that.
It's ridiculous.
Just
absolutely ridiculous. And the push on Sigurdsson in the first, I know we made the most of it, but anywhere else on the pitch, the referee would have given a free kick.
No, he was in the back and stops him getting the ball because he's waiting for it to come down and controlling it or kick it.
You know, and you can tell because they go like that then.
He's criminally bad. I mean, alright, listen, you can't always see things in the split moments. Was it a penalty? Yes, it was a penalty. Can the ref get that wrong? Of course he can. But to not stop the game when someone's got a head injury is negligence. It's not bad refereeing. It's negligence.
Well, mate, how many tackles did they put in that were bookings? If you're judging by what we got, right? And the only player he booked was Stanislaus because he said something to his mate and he couldn't wait. He was like that. He couldn't get to his car quick enough. Don't say that to me, mate. And he ran over in that fucking voice.
How many times were we on the counter and one of them just fouled the player and just like to take one for the team and he just
FIFA tackle.
Isn't that a mandatory yellow? The pull, puts a mandatory yellow. Sigurdsson turned away, lad dragged his shirt, Sigurdsson struck them off, has a shot, and Atkinson's like, what?
Yeah.
There was a corner in the second half which was clearly had come off one of their players. Like everyone in the ground could see it, and you just. But that's what got Goodison going, I think.
But then again, Calvert-Lewin headed 2 out and he gave us throw-ins. And you're like, Calvert-Lewin just headed that out. Clearly. And there was a shove below me by, I think it was Garner. Just 2 hands in the lad's back and he just let play go and you're going, that was a foul to them. How can you not sit?
Let's talk about the subs.
And I got up this morning early and my first thought was that bastard on 130 grand a year.
Martin Atkinson.
Took that on, I think, on 24.
No, that was really your first thought this morning.
I just remembered it then. I've just remembered it then.
So the subs, I mean, we're 1 down obviously, and you know, the fans are starting to beg for blood, let's be honest. Makes the subs, which I think the subs should have come on before they scored, if we're going to be honest. Let's be proactive, not reactive.
The subs were great though.
But the subs, you make the right subs. He brought Nias on and he brought Davies on. Now he didn't have to bring Nias on, even if he did score in the week. He didn't have to bring him on. He could have brought Nobody could have brought Sanzo on. He could have gone safe for him and brought Sanzo on, but he didn't. He brought Nias on, and that was good because I think he reacted to what you shouldn't always react to what the crowd wants. But I think he did. He gave the old thumbs, didn't he? The old Roman thumbs. He judged the mood of the crowd, and I think bringing the axe on was the right thing to do. But straight away, you've seen, well, 4 seconds, you've seen what Davies gives you.
Yeah.
Not, 4 seconds booking, that's good.
Full-blooded.
Yeah. But he didn't touch the lad, the lad fell over him. But straight away, you've got Davies who wants to get forward, wants to drive forward, wants to pass forward. It's an actual thing. And the ass playing on the shoulder. And we said it last week. We don't have centre forwards that want to get behind the opposition. And that terrifies centre backs because they don't want to go. They haven't got eyes in the back of their head. They don't want to go. Centre forward sits at the back and just goes, well, I'm going to run behind the two of you. Centre forwards hate that because centre forwards are slow. They're cumbersome. Centre backs are slow, cumbersome. They don't want to go in the area centre forward goes. That's why one plays in one position, one plays in another. And that's what he gives you. And suddenly I think that helps you push 10 yards up the pitch. Yeah, exactly.
And what else he done, which was good, which was tactically good, was he almost went 4-4-2, pushed Davies over on the right, Sigurdsson came across, went out to the left, and Nias went and just played alongside Calvert-Lewin. And we had that situation quite quickly where I think it's Baines knocks it down the line and Nias just goes sprinting after it with the lad. Yeah. Shrugs him off, gets it touch, and straight away the street end are up then, and now we've got someone who's running in behind and knocking people about. And the crowd have been, the last 2 games, the crowd have been brilliant with Niassi. Yeah. And he's responded to it. And I thought he looked, on Saturday, I was just watching him thinking, yeah, that's exactly what we need. You are the striker we need at this moment in time because you're direct, you're a little bit unorthodox, and you're getting in the middle when crosses were going in. He was jumping, and they were looking at him probably thinking, they were terrified. Who is this? And yet, his last Goodison appearance was against Bournemouth, wasn't it? A couple of years ago. And I thought, I thought he'd done really, really well, as Tom Davies did. I thought he'd done well.
It kind of alludes back to what Ped said before, though, because when we changed to 4-4-2, we were then outside moving in.
Yeah.
And we had a shape. Inside moving out. Yeah, we just had a formation.
We had a shape. And like I said, when we talk about Koeman's signs, I think we signed one average player, I'll say, and I think the rest of the players that he signed are all very good footballers. I believe that. I don't think he's made a bad signing this summer. I really don't. Even as Migliore is out on one player, in general I think he's bought well. I think the squad is better, but we have got glaring holes, and it's like you said, unless he finds a way very quickly of just getting our shape right, if he can do that and play Tom Davies, I think we'll be sound. No, but just because he goes forward. Well, and that's what we saw.
Well, I think when Tom Davies came on, you instantly saw Martin have so much space because he's playing out to in. Their fullback doesn't know where to go with them, and then suddenly that opens up the pitch. So you've got a decent number 10 in there, or 2 strikers. That opens.
But they had to put someone on Tom Davies that they hadn't had to do. So the fullbacks then come along on.
And that's where Martinez started getting joy. Now I was screaming at that point for John Joe Kenny to come on because he's just better at getting forward than Martinez. Martinez gets forward, he puts in crosses, and ultimately they're just like little floaty things. The keeper will just pick them out the air. There's no craft in them for me. Or we don't have a centre forward that can utilise them. If I'm being nice, that's what I can say. If maybe we had the Giroud or a Duncan Ferguson in his day, they'd be in there and they'd be all over him, but we don't, so it's kind of pointless. Do you know what I mean? It's like putting wheels on a boat or something. Do you know what I mean? Ultimately, it's what's the point?
Actually, the duck that used to go round on the road.
What happened to that?
Yeah. Sank the day after that, being honest.
Went on fire, sunk. Martin. And I just thought we needed something else then. And when he brought John, now people have said it was because of an injury. Now I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say it was tactical. Because people are saying Martin had an injury. People said he had an injury. Now I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say the manager knew what he was doing, because that side suddenly opened up. And when John Joe Kenny came on, the relationship him and Davies have, suddenly it was wide open. And then we get the first goal by Tom Davies passing forward, and the second goal by John Joe pushing.
The first goal, let's talk about it, because Nias goes and wins the ball back. He has it, he breaks, he runs back, he gets back in a good position, he gets a foot in, off to Sigurdsson, gets popped off, he gets it back and lays it off and carries on his run. And the pass by Davies It's just absolutely brilliant because it's not on when you first look at it. It isn't on, and they just part for a second, and he fizzes it. If he underhits that, if he garners it, they just step out with the ball, and he fizzes it in. But the first touch by Niasse off his left foot onto his right foot is absolutely brilliant, and then he just leathers it past Begovic.
Well, the fact that it's been hit with that kind of pace allows it for him to open his body up to get the turn and smash it in, and it's a great finish. Brilliant but goal. The reaction to him scoring was brilliant as well. You know, he didn't go on over the top celebrate. He went and got the ball and went, come on, we've got 15 minutes now to win this game, and that
you almost felt Goodison turn at the moment that it didn't get the belief. Kind of was like, we can win this. For me, it was a double factor. It felt like before that, like people thinking we've got to score 2 and we can't even score 1. And Bournemouth, I think, were like, we're going to get a 1-0 win here. These can't score, and then they're like, oh, they've scored. Shit, they might go and get another one. So it was twofold. But you know, that was the positive thing. We kept going. Suddenly, people were like, well, hang on, we've got a threat. We've got 2 strikers on the pitch. We've got Davies who wants to push forward. We're controlling the midfield because we've suddenly got width. It's suddenly everything just fell into place, and you were like, actually, this team isn't that bad if you just tinker it a little bit. Suddenly we haven't got all these players playing in the same position. Suddenly we've got players just holding the position, like Sigurdsson, being dangerous without you know, playing in a central position. And then, as I say, Kenny moving down the right helped. He fired in that ball. Was it Calvert-Lewin? Davies, you know, it's positive. Davies is having it, just trying to get it in the box. And fair play to Niasse, he keeps it alive, he jumps up, he makes himself physical. He got lucky because this first one was actually off his shoulder, but then he reacts to it. He doesn't just go, doesn't do the old Roger Hunt, just stick his arm in the air, you know, it's over the line. You know, he reacts to it and makes sure it goes in, because if he hadn't done that, it wouldn't have been given as a goal. And we've seen with the Holgate one how close it can be to, you know, not going in but not going in. So, and that just, the whole, I mean, Goodison just erupted because it was the right man at the right time to score the goal. And you know what, that goal could be just the little, we always say, like the Kevin Brock moment to you, that's all you'll refer to. But just Niasse getting it was the right man to score as well, because the fans want to see him do well. Because it's not like no one can go, this is all on Koeman, because we all wrote him off, of course. We can't sit here and rewrite history. We all wrote him off. But we all love to see a story where someone, you know, it's very much like Jesus, isn't he? You know, it's very much like he's been living in a cave for a weekend and come back to life. You'd know all about that, Baz, wouldn't you? I'm not Jesus.
No, but you know.
We've got Jesus.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. It was probably Middle Eastern Jesus. You know.
Where's this going?
I'm just made up. That's the Salt Lake City Jesus. You know, that's the Mormon Jesus.
I thought it was over the line, to be fair, but that was the best thing about that was he reacts to Tom Davies' shot. He doesn't just have a look and say, where's that going? He's ready, following it in. Good instincts of a striker. And as he heads it or shoulders it and it comes out, he's the first one that reacts and puts it in the back of the net.
Reflexes.
And that's what
That's what I'm saying, though.
Like you said, he's got that instinct, and it might be that he's not the greatest footballer in the world, but if he's got that nice little habit of putting the ball in the back of the net, you can forgive everything else, you know. And it was great to see him, and like you say, Goodison erupted, and after that, you thought we were gonna go on to get more, but great for him to come on and get 2 ones.
Yeah, as soon as we scored the second goal, they just collapsed, didn't they? Really, that was all they did. I think that one of the best things was the way the crowd reacted to it. Because I think that there was so much pressure and just everyone was just waiting for something. The referee was atrocious. It was just building and building and building. It was on a knife edge, and then when Niasse scored, everyone just went mental. And second goal winning, and people were diving over roads and all sorts. It was just like
good old fashioned limbs.
Yeah.
What I liked as well,
needed that limbs moment though, haven't we?
What I liked as well though, I liked about the goal was all those young players who would have played some point last season with Niasse with the under-23s. It was almost like when you see them, you see the likes of John Joe, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Holgate, Davies all together. It was like he was part. He was like, do you know what I mean? Like he was part of them, like because he'd been part of the under-23s. And don't forget, the under-23s probably wouldn't have won the league last season without Niasse. You know, he was a big part. He scored like 9 goals. Scored like a hat-trick. He scored like a hat-trick away at Man United. He was a big part of it, and they really appreciate it. It was like when they go to each other when one of them's done well. It was like he was part of that, and I thought that was a big moment, because you can imagine the isolation he's felt in the last year. Like, he's not part of the first team squad, but he's part of the 23s, but he's not part of the 23s because they're all young lads coming together. He probably wouldn't have socialised with them and that kind of thing. So I think that was a big moment to say you're part of this. And then you've seen a lot of the other players, and I think that's really positive, because when you hear stories of him, when you seen him in his fucking suit, not in his suit and in a Toffee, because he hasn't got a suit because he's been fitted for one, that straight away goes, he's a man almost on his own. You know, the locker things become a bit of a joke, but that Saturday, actually seeing him, he's in the first team squad, he's playing, he scored, but he hasn't even got a suit. It suddenly dawns on you how isolated he must have felt for a long time at Everton. So I think that's huge, and knowing that he's got the support of the players and the fans, that could be the thing. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, he's going to score 20 goals for this season. But if he's a threat, like we've been saying last few weeks, can come off the bench, can start games and just give someone else something to think about, then it's great.
I seen an interview with Tom Davies after Sunderland the other night talking about him, and he was, because obviously he had the assist with him, didn't he? And he said, I know him well, and you know, we play together, and I'm close to him and all that. And you can see that on Saturday. Davies has set 3 of his goals up. You know, when we come on, you know, he had 2 assists Saturday, 1 against Sunderland, and he has been the recipient of all of them. And that bodes well. Like you say, you seen Calvert-Lewin go over to him, and he was made up that he'd scored when he equalised, and Kenny was in there, and that's great for us as fans as well, to see those players, the young lads with the connections there. And you know, after that, we then see the move with Tom Davies, Joe Kenny.
I mean, a great goal.
But it was what we've talked about, Kenny. That first time layoff to Davies, off he goes on his bike, great little ball back, great cross, and Calvert-Lewin probably should have made it 3-1.
Yeah, we should have.
I thought it was quite good by the defender actually. He just can't. He's got like his leg at the weirdest angle ever, and he just manages to put him off a little bit. Yeah. But he should still be finishing.
No, he should be scoring.
Good move though, wasn't it?
Yeah, fantastic. It was up there one of the best moves of the game. But best move that we've done in quite a few games, to be honest with you.
But I think
you can't defend that.
But I think what was good about that is though, this is something we spoke about in the last few weeks. That's what we did in the second half when we changed the shape is we sat in their half. We haven't done that at all this season. We haven't sat in someone's half and dominated, and to the point where you knew it was coming. And I think having 2 centre forwards helps that, because the defenders can't get out like we were at Old Trafford, where we couldn't get out. So it was ultimately, you knew what was going to happen. It helped build the play, and then you seen again Kenny get more and more confidence. He, you know, defensively he looked quite solid. I think he made one mistake where he kicked the ball out and went straight to one of their players, but he looked solid. And then he got up at someone on the same wavelength like he did on Wednesday night. And then we've got like 4 men in the box when he throws that ball in. I mean, and it's a great ball as well. Like, really, it should be a goal. But if he hasn't got, if Dominic Calvert-Lewin hasn't got the contact, then maybe the person behind him would have got the contact.
There
exactly. So you've got like 3 or 4 players who are all vying for a chance, because they know, because they're all up there. It's not in isolation. We're not breaking slowly. We're camped in the half. I think that's another thing. This shape.
I think we can do that even with the likes of Rooney on the pitch, and you know, don't kind of play.
It's shape. That's all it is.
Shape. And you've got someone that wants to burst past it. We've had Seamus Coleman this season. From the start of the season, they look different because he wants to get past and make things happen.
But even if that goes wrong there for Kenny and he loses the ball somehow, he's got the advantage that he knows that the person playing midfield doesn't have to trek 10 yards from the inside of midfield to get wide. He's starting wide. I don't understand why we play this system of out to in. It should be in. It should be out to in, not
into out.
Yeah, that's it.
Well,
because it just gives those players too much room to cover. The Premier League's too fast. You've got
to be in the position.
You've got to be in the position pretty much within 5 or 10 yards. Haven't you? You can't be going over. You've got to go.
I just don't understand why teams don't have more than one striker on the pitch. The thing, you win football matches by scoring goals. You win football matches by scoring goals. So why would you only have one specialist on the pitch? It doesn't make any sense. we put 2 strikers on the pitch, all of a sudden we had 4 and 5 players in the box. The most we've had at any time this season. It's normally 1 and 1 coming through, and that's it. You know, the best team in the land at the minute to watch are Manchester City, and they play Aguero and Hezbollah.
They've got about 8 strikers.
But they have Gabriel Jesus and they have Aguero
right.
with 2 out-and-out strikers. They're both in the team.
Yeah, but even the wingers are breaking the necks to get in. Like, so at the weekend, you saw Sané just...
Yeah.
I just think for this team to be successful, it's not about... It is about personnel, but we've got a lot of good players in the squad. The personnel could be interchanged. It's about shape. And if we've got full backs breaking the necks to get forward, and again, on the left-hand side, Baines will get up more. If he knows he's got a midfielder on his side who's going to cover his arse, he isn't had that so far. If you've got Baines and he's looking forward, all he can see is grass. You know, he's getting forward, he wants, well, he's going, where am I going to go with this ball? I can't carry it all the way. I need someone like Pina used to do, little 1-2, I'm away. And that's what Kenny was doing late on in this game. That's what it's all about. You've got to have partnerships, and I just think the shape just needs tinkering a little bit, but that's going to take bollocks from the manager to say one of the holding midfielders is going to have to be, because ultimately that's the thing. One of the holding midfielders is going to have to be dropped for some games when we're at home and we need to have a go. I mean, Thursday night, do we really need 2 holding midfielders? I mean, I don't know, I haven't watched this team, but surely he's going to look at it and go, well, if we start tonight with Diamond, and you've got, because if you have like if you had a Klassen on the right and Davies or whatever, then you've got that insurance anyway, haven't you, of someone who's going to get back for you in numbers. So
it's just a pity, and the Ash is not going to be
there. Do you not think that Garner's been told to play a more advanced role anyway?
I think he has, but I just don't think he can.
Yeah, exactly. So his natural instinct is to, like, I'm going to defend this, and then Snelden's kind of like, well, you've been told to go forward, because he tries to, and then like, well, he only gets to like the halfway line and bottles it.
Stop and say, that's what I'm saying. Tom Davies' natural instinct is to go on, where Garner's is, I want to protect, because that's what he's been doing for years. So he can't reinstate.
Klassen, perfect position for him, which he would actually do what he wants. What kind of wants Garner to do, because Garner can't bring the ball out from midfield.
No. It's all a bit.
Yeah, there you have it. That has been the final word. A positive, well, sort of a positive one. It's been.
Well, it is positive. We just want to see more of the last 20.
Yeah. That's it. That's all we want to see. Big thanks, Andrew, for coming in. John is on the couch. He's a patron viewer, and he gets his reward by sitting on the couch. Next up, you can smell the aura coming off Baz. That's been the biggest. Oh, is it? Okay, sorry. There you have it. Thanks for watching Toffee TV. We'll see you later.